Kimbley IT Podcast with myself, James Kimbley, the founder of Kimbley IT, and Carl Heath, the technical director, even technical director is a better name than tyrannical director.
Radical, that's right. I'm the radical director.
Tyrannical.
That's a better job title, James. I think I'd like to take that. Radical director. That's awesome. Yes, hello.
Radical director.
Radical director here.
You probably should face the mic when you're talking so we can hear you.
All right, there's no need for that. I'm facing the mic.
Well, now. Okay, so we're going to be recapping, as normal, what we did in the last 7 days of Kimbley IT.
Yes.
It's a bit less busy because we didn't have any rollouts to deploy. And we have got a new client coming on board, Kent Alliance, but their rollout will be starting shortly, within the next few days, really.
Well, that's right for them in terms of a rollout. They're starting shortly. They'll be done before Christmas.
Yep, they should be done before the end of the month.
And we will have another client starting at the 1st of February, another cloud accountancy business. I went to see them yesterday.
Milton Keynes, our first client in Milton Keynes.
That's right. Yeah, Milton Keynes. Yeah, and I'm working on another one in Milton Keynes as well. But that's still in the pipeline.
That's good. That's good. So I guess the big thing we did last week was the Charade security key rollout.
Indeed, it was. Yes, the physical USB security key is what we're talking about here, people. The little key that you connect to your computer to verify that you are who you say you are when you log into your G Suite account. So
this is like an extra level of security. Well, it's a replacement for, when you log into your computer and you get a text message come through on your phone, you type in that code, it replaces that, and it's more secure than that because there's no way of anyone interrupting it or getting in the middle, a man in the middle of attack, stealing your credentials and then breaking into your account.
Yeah, because it's been shown by quite a few of those skilled hackers and journalists who do this kind of thing that actually getting someone's mobile phone number and faking it onto a SIM card isn't as difficult as people might think it is. And so the text message based system, although better than nothing, isn't really as secure as it could be if someone is after you personally. Yep. And so the security key is brilliant because I believe, James, we're right in saying since Google rolled that out, 0 phishing attacks, 0 hacks on that.
Yeah, it's the next step up on text messaging and authenticator apps. And as you said, no phishing attacks. So Google ran it for a year. I think it was a year in their offices for every single employee. I don't know what their employee count is, but it's in the hundreds of thousands.
It's big.
They had no phishing. No one was able to steal any of their their employees' login credentials, and it kept all their data super, super safe. And the nice thing is, it's really simple for people to understand as well. It's actually more simple than using a text message and waiting for the code. Everyone hates the one thing that people hate with two-step verification is it's a bit like it's like a good bouncer. A good bouncer at a nightclub makes it difficult for you to get in because he's doing his job. And two-step is like that. So it gets in the way, but it sends a text message and you've got to sit and wait for a few seconds for that text message to come through. Sometimes it can be a minute or so before that text message comes through, depending on the service. And people absolutely hate that. The key gets rid of that completely because as soon as you've typed in your password, insert the key, you just stick it in the computer, tap the button and you're in. You're not having any of that waiting around for the code to be generated. Or how many times you've been on an authenticator app where it's just about to time out on the code and you've got to wait for the next one to come round.
That's right. If the clock's got less than a quarter left on it, I wait for the next number to come around because that frustrates the hell out of me when that happens. Yeah, right. The key's easy. Plug it into the USB port. More and more people have got laptops, so you don't even have to move. Some people do have to go under the desk and touch, but it's not like you have to do this every day.
No, exactly. It's only every so often it will challenge you. I guess the only consideration at the moment is, have you got a USB type A port or a USB-C?
Good point. We've dealt with 2 people now, haven't we, with brand new MacBooks, and we've gone, they don't have the USB port that can take the key because we've got the key that's B and not C.
Yes, USB-C is a small one, and is it USB-A, which is the big one? I don't think it is USB-B, is it?
I don't know, actually. Maybe you're right. But you're right. C is the one that we don't have in the keys that we've been providing because only brand new MacBooks tend to have C only in them.
Yeah, we need to get hold of some C keys to roll out.
Or NFC keys. That may be better to do the NFC, the near field connection key.
But you've got those and you've got the Bluetooth versions as well.
Yes, that's right. I'm probably going to get one of those NFC ones anyway, James, for myself because I want to try it out with my phone and things.
Yeah, it'd be useful because you can just tap it on the back of the phone and it will log you in.
But the end of things is what I can't believe, and I'm going to put it out there, is I never meet any other company who've got one of these. Every time I show someone this key, they've never even seen one before. Yeah, all these IT companies bang on about cybersecurity on LinkedIn on a daily basis. Cyber this, cyber that, dark web scan this. When actually, one of the most important things they could be doing, they're not doing. So what's that all about?
Yep.
What's that all about, IT people? Tell us. Their silence speaks volumes, James.
I'm being silenced as well now.
No, exactly. That silence speaks volumes.
Well, luckily, we're rolling out the key to everybody.
Well, if you think we're wrong, IT people, please comment and post on this podcast and tell us why we're wrong. Why aren't you doing it?
Need to face the mic again. You like turning away from the mic when you're talking.
Yes.
Then the next thing at Charade, we did a computer report for them on some new hardware they had delivered.
We did, and
this is the problem when you buy off a friend. When you buy off a friend, you put your guard down slightly, and then your friend might take advantage of you. And this is what's happened here. And that the friend's done an upgrade on their kit, but he hasn't done an adequate job in that you've got hard drives hanging loose inside the computers that haven't been fastened properly, which need to be corrected.
Yeah, I'm more diplomatic perhaps than you on this. There's a standard that we expect in all service when we deal with the client, not only from ourselves, but from anybody else that we work with. And sometimes that standard isn't met. When it isn't met, you have to bring it up. Because if you don't bring it up, then you're complicit in that low standard to your customer. And that's wrong.
Yep, definitely.
So we've brought that up. That's going to get raised. And it's a simple thing to sort out. A few caddies, a few little bays inside the computer will secure those hard drives and job done.
Yeah, and it's back up and running.
Yes, exactly. But it must be done right. It must be done right.
Has to be done right. It's all about trust.
Exactly. So yes, charade went really well. They all accepted the key. Great. Totally understood it. Nobody had a problem with it. Joking around, all touched it. They all thought it was fingerprint reading, and they were asking me whether I'd got their DNA and stuff. So it was all pretty lighthearted and good. But they all get it now. And in fact, I even did Kevin today. I did have to give him a phone call, but talked to him through it over the phone.
Kevin's one of their employees, by the way.
Yes.
The next thing we did was, we visited. I'm not going to mention the name of this client just because they probably haven't published it yet, but they might be getting acquired. So we went and visited those guys last week. A marketing agency that we look after, and yeah, all going really well. They got their computers all set up. They're all working nicely on their machines. I'm quite excited because if they are getting acquired by the company that we believe they are, we were actually in the offices of the other company and we spotted quite a few IT issues that we want to fix for them.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And sometimes that can be a sensitive thing when that kind of process goes on. But I had a chat with the MD. Looks like that's the situation. I think it's a great move. We'll be really excited when they're able to reveal that fully. And we were there to make sure that they knew that we were there to help them as part of that process, because they probably will need some.
Yeah, and again, it was setting up some more security keys, actually, because they had a couple of individuals who missed the first rollout of the security keys and one new employee who needed to be issued with their security key.
Yes, and it was also the installation of the software that we install on every laptop for our customer base that protects them against nasties on the internet, as you might want to call it.
Yeah.
That goes. I love that bit of kit. That software is really good.
It eliminates the need for the hardware equivalent.
Yeah. And what we're actually talking about is, and business owners, people say, "Oh, you need to have a great firewall," and you did 5 years ago. But actually now what you want is a firewall that's quick and allows everybody access to anything online that they need to get to, because that's what the business needs. And the software that's going to protect the computer needs to be at each computer level and also cloud-based. It gets a bit techie how it works, but the days of having to buy an expensive firewall device with an expensive license and an expensive subscription are actually gone. And the reverse is now you want a simple, fast firewall, and then you want the software that protects you at a higher level, as Stevie Winwood would say.
I know that.
You know that reference?
I do.
Wow. 8 years of difference, everybody. There's 8 years of difference, but he's got one of my references for once.
Yeah, first time ever. I didn't get you one on LinkedIn about how long your arm was. I thought you were a criminal.
Oh, well, you should have done your due diligence before allowing me to become a director then, James.
No,
That's your own fault for that. As
yeah.
we described, what if I was a good criminal, but I'm not? I'm not a criminal. I've even been arrested.
As we said, we'd never know if you're a good criminal or not.
No. But we will state for the record, I have not been arrested.
Because you're a good criminal.
But I just didn't commit any crimes.
Yep.
Me committing crime. I couldn't commit crime to save my life. I'm rubbish. And my face just says guilt. I can't tell a fib without someone knowing.
Yeah, that's true. That is true.
I don't know if you're good at lying or not. I don't know. I've not challenged you on something I know is a lie yet. You might be excellent.
You don't know, do you?
No, I've got a feeling you'll probably be really good at it.
Possibly.
Because you're like a poker player. You could give like a dead. No one's going to read James.
It depends. It depends on my mood.
Okay.
when I'm doing it, if I have considered it, then I'll probably give it away because I'll start smirking or something like that.
Yeah, that's not going to cut it.
Yeah, exactly. So no, I'm not that great at it, to be fair.
Okay, good. Well, that's a good thing. We're both not great liars.
Always helps.
Yep.
So let's go on to something a bit more, even more fun than that. You've only just joined Kimbley IT officially as a director, even though you've been with Kimbley IT for a while.
Yep.
However, there's somebody out there who doesn't think you're good enough, and they think you need to go and work for them, and they need to look after you because you don't know what you're doing. And this guy apparently owns the 8th biggest G Suite reseller in the country that no one's ever heard of.
Yeah. Yeah, I think the gist of it was, if I might rephrase that I'm too good. I'm wasted here, James.
Oh.
That was it, apparently. I'm wasted here at Kimbley IT, and I should be doing something else bigger and on bolder. Now, it's pleasant. It's nice when somebody pays you a compliment. However, what's really going on? What are people up to? Yeah,
because the guy says he's the 8th biggest G Suite reseller in the country, and we've had a bit of a look into this, and absolutely no one we know who has dealt with G Suite in the last 10 years has heard of them, knows of them. You go to their website, they have one basic page about G Suite, and everything else is about Microsoft 365.
Yeah, it doesn't make much sense, does it? Because we do know people. You know people who've been in Google for years and know, you know guys who know top people at Google, so they know what's going on, and they've never heard of them.
No, never heard of these people at all. So we think it's probably a lie.
Well, you put it out there now, haven't you?
Well, we'll find out. We haven't mentioned the guy's name, so he's got no way of suing us.
No, we haven't. No.
But it's all a bit odd. You're claiming to be a G Suite reseller and the biggest one, but you have nothing. You pretty much have nothing about it on anything you do. It's all Microsoft focused. So you're either what I hate, a bait and switcher. So a bait and switcher is someone who says, "Oh, we offer G Suite. We love G Suite. It's really good." But when you actually go and talk to their salespeople, they'll go, "You know what? You'd probably be better off on 365. So let's talk about 365 rather than what you really contacted us about." Bait and switching. I absolutely hate that tactic in marketing.
It's an old school tactic, isn't it? Bait and switching for all sorts of industries. Bait and switch exists.
Yeah. Yes. There's lots of people do that. Lots of IT companies do that. Not just this one, but lots do that. Especially with G Suite, they claim they know about G Suite and they do it, but as soon as you get in contact with them, no, they don't. Quite often, we actually get calls from other IT companies who've got themselves into a bit of a mess where they've got a client who's decided now they want to move to G Suite, but rather than doing the right thing and handing the client over to us, they want us to go in there and back them up and give them the support on how to do it. We're not going to do that. We're not going to do that because the problem is, one, you're lying to your customer by pretending that the G Suite knowledge is coming from your business. But secondly, that customer is never going to get a great service from you because how do you know what's coming out in G Suite? You've got no contact with the guys at Google. You've got no access to the Google partner system. You cannot give your customer great service if you're not a Google partner, if you're pretending to be one, because you can't tell them new features that are coming out, how to use this, or be aware of stuff that's coming down the line. We know stuff that's coming out in 12 months' time that no one else knows about. One thing that's going to completely revolutionize VoIP that's going to come out shortly within the next 12 months. And these guys don't know about that, so they can't plan.
That's right. They don't. And I agree entirely with you. It's the wrong thing to do. That's taking money off the table. That is going for the cash only and being greedy in front of your customer. Someone comes to you in your customer base and says, look, we're going to go G Suite. We've got 50 users, something like that. if you don't do that and you don't know anything about it, are you really saying it's right to learn on the job and take their money as if you did? That's not ethical. That's wrong. Someone steps to us and says, look, guys, we're going 365, or we're 365. We love what you two do, but we're all Microsoft. Do we take them on? No, we don't. In fact, I had a conversation with a financial business this week who I'd met at my Vistage group. Good guy. And he'd said to me, Kyle, maybe now's the time I work with you. My IT's not where it's at. Can you help me? So I said, let's have a phone call. Had a chat. Soon found out he'd got some regulatory reasons why he couldn't not work with Microsoft Outlook and Microsoft Office. And I said straight away to him, Gary, I can't help you. That's it. Sorry about that, Gary. I can't help you. Now, could I technically go ahead and do that? Could I sign into 365 and have a crack at it? Yeah, of course I could. I've worked in IT for years. I could have a go at it, but I don't know the ins and outs of 365 at all. That'd be the totally wrong thing to do. So I told Gary, can't help you. If you want me to recommend someone who maybe can, I'd be happy to do that for you, but I can't take, and I ended that call. No lead, no deal. It would have made Kimbley IT some money, but that's not what we're about. Because in my opinion, that's the wrong thing to do.
Yeah, 100%. Totally the wrong thing to do.
Gary needed a great person, a great company who do 365. And of course, there'll be some out there. They're not all charlatans.
No, there's definitely good ones. We know good ones, especially in the groups we're in. And I'd be happy to send any leads we've got like that to those guys.
Absolutely. In fact, do we not have a blog post / standardized email, James, that we send to people that says, we don't do this service, but here are some companies that do? Yeah,
we do. We list, I think it's 6 businesses in Birmingham that are really good at 365, much better than we are at 365. So we say go and talk to them.
Well, to be honest, my dog's probably better than we are at 365 because we wouldn't do it.
Yeah, we wouldn't do it at all.
So my dog better go.
There's enough difficulties when you're trying to migrate from 365, trying to find the damn settings in the 365 admin panel to get them all set up.
Oh, that was the Sage one, wasn't it? Where someone had bought it bundled with Sage and it was absolute rubbish.
Yeah, and because of that, you didn't have access to half the settings that we needed to be able to do an easy migration. So it became a tricky one. Got the stuff across, but it was tricky.
Yep. James, there's something that happened this week as well that we need to talk about.
Oh, is it something new that I don't know about that you're about to?
No, you do know about it. And it's called the classic, I made a mistake. We made a mistake with our invoicing for one of our customers. We forgot to invoice them.
Oh, yes. I forgot about that. I forgot the fact that we forgot to invoice them as well.
Yeah, we forgot to invoice them. I was going through Xero and I noted, this customer who's been with us 6-7 months, we haven't sent them a bill, not one, because it was a technical error in our setup of Go Cardless. Is that right?
Well, it was sort of, it was a bit of both, actually. It wasn't really a technical error. It was more of an error by me in that I hadn't shown you how to do it properly. And therefore, when you set up the initial invoice, it hadn't been put onto repeating mode. Right. I think that was the case. Or no, the email address was missing. Therefore, Go Cardless didn't generate the direct debit link and automatic direct debit email to the person, to the client, for them to initiate their direct debits. So that was where the problem was. The email address was missing. So they didn't get an option to pay.
So I brought this up to you.
How many months was it?
Pardon? It
must be about 4 or 5 months that they've had free support for.
Oh yeah, it's not a small amount of money that's not been invoiced. And I raised it with you straight away, and you said to me, my preferred way of this, Kyle, is that we suck that up and accept it because it's our mistake, and we tell the customer no billing, we'll bill you from next month. Sorry about that. I totally agreed with you. When you make that mistake, you've got to own it yourself. There's no back invoicing or trying to claw it back. That's your own cock up.
The worst thing ever when a company tries to do a back invoice on somebody for their own cock up.
Yep.
Because you're just showing absolute no care for your customer. You're essentially passing the blame on your customer. Yeah, we messed up, but you're still going to have to pay for it.
And not only did we do that, but I posted a small video on LinkedIn about that then, just to say I made a mistake. And it's interesting that when you do that, I got a lot of likes from people that are important to me, who know me in my network. And I know that carries respect and value to them, that we were honest enough to do what we did and play it out there. And these are the things that people don't think about. When I posted today about Gary V, who says, document your content, talk about what you do, which is what our podcast is here right now. So I just simply talked about what we'd done. Yeah. And yet all these other companies are in there trying to advertise. They're trying to run little adverts instead of doing a TV show.
Oh, you see that all the time on LinkedIn. Someone asks for a bit of help, and then you see all the people coming out of the woodwork, desperate for business, desperate. We've got to help you. We can do this. I saw one the other day where the guy just said, "I've asked my sales manager to give you a call. He'll be calling you this afternoon about it." The person only wanted some advice on something, and now he's going to be hassled by some idiot who's decided, "I'm now going to call you. You've given me permission to call you and interrupt your day, so you take my phone call."
Yeah, if you post on LinkedIn, I'm looking for 20 replacement computers and a new VoIP phone system. You're talk about a denial of service attack. That's going to take your phone off the hook for the next day. Everyone's going to go nuts and ring you because they're all so desperate.
I was just thinking, actually, maybe posting those post things might be fake. It might be a way of jigging the algorithm in your favor. Because you've got for what LinkedIn thinks is you've got a post out that's really popular, and you've got all these people talking on it, commenting on it, and liking it, and you're therefore jigging the algorithm in your favor for your next posts.
It's an interesting thought. I would say, James, that you've probably thought about how to game the algorithm, and the person posting the post, they literally were looking for some computers and decided to post that kind of stuff.
I think what you said was probably good, but you broke up then. So I'm hoping it was good what you just said.
Well, let's say you post that kind of thing saying, "I want computer support for 30 users and 30 phones," something like that. What you're really saying is, "Come on, everybody, I want the cheapest deal." That's what you're actually saying, because if you wanted the best deal, that's not the place to have that conversation. How can you possibly answer the 60 people that are going to reply and make an informed decision?
Well, the best ones don't even reply to that stuff because we don't reply to it.
Oh, no, exactly. So what that customer is saying is, "I don't want to spend any money. Come on, cheap deals." So what that says to me is, I don't want to work with them.
Yep.
Because they don't value anything I'm doing at the moment. They just want the cheapest deal. And they can't even be bothered to Google it and then ring a few people. They want them all to ring them.
Exactly.
So they're even lazier.
I'm not saying too much. As you know, I'm doing a Google course at the moment on the power of advertising, and that's going very well. We've learned quite a few little tricks to do there, which we're going to be experimenting in the next couple of next 90 days, next 3 months.
Yeah, you've learned some really interesting stuff
for Google search results.
And if anybody wants to know what that fascinating, interesting stuff is, courses are available on Udemy.
They can be.
Yeah. Don't know which one, though. Courses are available.
You've got to pay for them.
That's right. Sorry, folks, but you don't get that good stuff on this podcast.
Yeah, and you don't get it. You don't get it for free either from a LinkedIn video.
No, you'll have to go do that yourself.
So before we end, let's call someone out who impresses us. I want to go with Craig over at zappshelter.
Yes, I like Craig at zappshelter. Craig is in Scotland. Perth is where the business is based, and zappshelter provide these rather fabulous pop-up shelters for outside storage. For example, you might want to put some pallets and forklift trucks out in space, and you need a very temporary structure to do that that's waterproof. That's what zappshelter does. There's one if you're driving down the M25 and you are going northbound. So that's
before
clockwise.
Before the M40 junction. It's on the left-hand side.
Left-hand side, Heathrow Airport, not going clockwise. There is a zappshelter with a picture of, is it like a bull on it? Is it a bull?
Yeah, their logo's a bull, and it's yellow,
like
yellow legs, black body.
A bit like the Red Bull bull.
It's we were actually driving back from Kent, and we just happened to be driving along in that part of the motorway where it's gets a lot of traffic on that part of the M25. I just happened to look over to the left and spot this zappshelter.
Yep.
Craig about it straight away, and apparently it's their first one, I think, down on the outskirts of London.
Yes.
But yeah, absolutely fantastic for keeping your JCBs and your hardcore and all that stuff protected from the elements, because they clip onto pretty much anything. What are their cargo boxes? What's the actual name for those boxes that ships carry?
Oh, the great big storage containers. Yeah,
the storage containers. They clip onto those at the side, so you don't actually need to build any
structure,
permanent walls, or structures to do it. You can just put a few of those down, and you get a great cover for any of your stuff. So you should go and check out Craig Michael on LinkedIn and zappshelter. Craig's marketing is awesome on LinkedIn. So
that's it.
Just do a search for hashtag zappshelter.
Not over talking each other. It's not only the product, is it, James, that we like? You like his marketing. I like him. He's a good guy. Family business. Nice person.
Craig, if you're listening, you just need to go to G Suite now.
You do. Come on.
So we don't need to do.
You know you want to.
You know you want to, but yeah, go on LinkedIn and look for the hashtag zappshelter, ZAPP shelter, and then you're going to.
You've been watching too many videos with Rosie. You have Z.
Did I say Z?
It's Z, dude.
Oh, bloody hell! That's too much of the YouTube kids and the American videos. Right.
Too many American videos.
Oh well, now it's A to Z. We might as well end the podcast now. There's nothing else to talk about.
Fair enough.
For the last week. So yeah, that's our week in review, and we'll have another episode up next week.
Yes, indeed.
As always, leave a comment, tell us what you think, and we will speak to you soon.
Yes, leave a comment, review, because Apple Podcasts are weird like that. Downloads aren't enough. When you click on the stars, give us 5 stars or give us 1 star. At least we know which way you're feeling about it, but do it, please.
Great stuff. Speak to you later.
Okay, ta-da.